Hello, folks. I come to you with important news, and it's that this year's Eagle Rare 17, a release from the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection that is not normally my favorite. I have underestimated you. I have overlooked you. I've said some not terribly nice things about you. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm asking for forgiveness because this year you were fantastic. Is my favorite of this year's Buffalo Trace Antique Collection releases. I know, shocking, this is an important news alert. Stick around because I'm going to go into exactly why. And if you want all the details, including my full review, click the link in the description below. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I will be coming to you live, this is pre-recorded, from Brooklyn with tasting notes on Eagle Rare 17. Let's dive into it. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to VinePair on YouTube. That good? Is that good? Okay, great, good. I did it. Two important things. One, it says Eagle Rare 17. This is actually older. This is a 19-year, 3 months, so could technically be marketed as a 19-year-old bourbon whiskey bottled at 101 proof. Eagle Rare 17 is like a kind of a brand now. You know, it's been around for a while. So even though it's 19 years, they're still calling it Eagle Rare 17. Oldest Eagle Rare 17 release since this has been part of the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection for over 20 years. Other thing. Let's talk about cost and availability. The suggested retail price on this is a cool $125. If you can find it for $125, buy it for $125, and then call your friends and family after and say, come over to my house, we're gonna crack this bottle and enjoy it. Because it is tough to find this for retail. It's often much more expensive at retail and on the secondary. Quick thing, that's actually not Buffalo Trace's fault. So many people go off about, oh, Buffalo Trace, they're charging so much. And no, they're suggesting that retailers sell this for $125. They don't get to dictate what retailers sell this for. I needed to clarify that. One thing I want to say, I'm just going to go show my cards here. I really liked this whiskey. I actually recently got to taste this year's Eagle Rare 2017 next to Double Eagle Very Rare, which is the 20-year release, next to Eagle Rare 25, which is their new 25-year release. And this held its own. I'm not going to necessarily rank those right now. This held its own, so I'm excited to revisit this. Okay, 101 proof. It's not one of the cast strength releases in the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection line. Man, there's so much here on the nose. There's so much. My job is so hard. Chocolate covered cherries, bananas Foster. God, there's so much fruit. And caramel and oak. It's weird because I think I get fruit first on this. Other people who knows it might not get fruit at first. They might get more chocolate. I got fruit and chocolate kind of simultaneously. This hits so many aspects of what I like bourbon to smell like. It's honestly tough to pick out flavor notes. I spent a lot of time with this whiskey, and if you read my full review, you should definitely read my full review on this one. I just got so much on the nose. If I had to nail down one note, like early chocolate covered cherry, but it just opens up again, that banana note. It's really interesting, something I haven't smelled on Eagle Rare 17 before. There's a spectrum of cherries: black, sweet, tart, maraschino. The ones at the bottom of your old fashioned glass that you're like really, really trying to like scoop into your mouth after you're done with your cocktail, but you're trying to be elegant about it because you're in a fancy bar. This has all those cherry notes. Cool tartness that pairs with the sweetness. Man, I have oak. It's a 19-year whiskey. So normally I think to myself, well, why don't they release this at cast strength? But 101 proof feels so good for this because that oak lifts everything up without drowning anything else out. That finish goes on and it evolves and chocolate comes back. This is one of the more cherry forward bourbons I've tried in a long time. It's not a bad thing, but there's also stuff here. Like, me saying that doesn't mean there aren't other notes. Chocolate ganache. Have I ever tasted that on a bourbon before? I don't think I've ever. Wow. Yeah, chocolate ganache, like maybe the interior of a molten lava cake. It's really good. All right, folks. I think Eagle Rare 17, I think the 2023 release of Eagle Rare 17 is the best new release bourbon, or the best annual release bourbon I've tried this year. I scored this 97 points, which is a full point higher than I've scored anything else for VinePair this year. That's not to say, we're still in release season, something could come along and score that or score higher. But for me, I think this might be the bourbon of the year from my perspective. But I want to know what you think. Sound off in the comments below. Love my thoughts, hate my thoughts, or you're just neutral to my thoughts. Help our engagement. Let me know what you think. Say things that you don't like about me personally or about my reviews. I really don't care. I just want to hear from you because I do respond to those, and it's fun banter. Probably the best Eagle Rare 17 I've had in recent memory. Certainly, I would say the best since they went up from 90 proof to 101 proof. A lot of fun bringing you this one. For VinePair.com, I'm David Thomas Tao, drinking the whiskey so you can too. And by the way, if you don't like this one and you have some, send it my way. I'll take it off your hands.